A military takeover in Guinea-Bissau. ECOWAS condemns act, demands declaration of the November 23 election results in that country. Guinea-Bissau's ousted President Umaro Sissoco Embalo is safe and sound in Dakar, Senegal, after being released by the military officers in his country. Play the watchdog role, Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohamed Idris tells APC support groups. And PDP faction straight talks in court. We have these and more on our lineup. Welcome to the program, Fisaya Ogunfui. This is Political Update. All right, let's start from the sub-region. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has suspended Guinea-Bissau from all its decision-making bodies with immediate effect following a military coup that overthrew President Umaro Sissoco Embalo on Tuesday, the 26th of November. In a communique issued after an emergency virtual summit late Thursday, ECOWAS heads of state condemned the takeover in the strongest terms and ordered the unconditional restoration of constitutional rule. ECOWAS praised Guinea-Bissau citizens for their resilience and commitment to democracy during the vote, while expressing alarm at the military's disruption of the electoral process. The regional bloc rejected any arrangements that perpetuate the illegal abortion of the democratic process and the subversion of all of the will of the people, and demanded that the coup leaders allow the National Electoral Commission to declare the 23 November election results without further delay. Moving on now, still talking about Guinea-Bissau, the country's ousted President Umaro Sissoco Embalo has fled to neighboring Senegal after being released by military officers who overthrew his government earlier this week. Senegalese authorities confirmed on Friday, that is this morning, the former army general who came to power in 2020 arrived safe and sound in Dakar late Thursday aboard a chartered military flight. Senegal's foreign ministry said in a statement, his transfer followed intense negotiations led by the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, as tensions escalated in the coup-prone nation. Guinea-Bissau has suffered multiple coups and attempted coups since gaining independence from Portugal in 1974, with the latest upheaval marking another setback for democratic stability in that country. Coming on now, Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohamed Idris wants members of the APC support groups to also serve as watchdogs of the party's manifestos and the administration's 8-point agenda. This was at a maiden meeting between the government spokesman and leaders of various APC support groups held behind closed doors.
These are the faces behind those who carried the party's flag and provided support at the podiums and at the polling units that led to the victory of APC at the center.
We still remain steadfast in our support for the government. We are part of the system, so if it is good, it's for us, if it's bad, for us. And that is why we are happy that you grant us this audience.
Before the closed-door session, the minister updated them about the administration's performance within the last 2.5 years of its first-term mandate.
Mr. President declared a state of emergency on security, authorizing the recruitment of additional personnel into the army and police, and announcing fresh support for existing security outfits created by the state governments. He has also called on the National Assembly to expedite legislative action on the establishment of state police. The newly established Ministry for Livestock Development and the state governments will continue to work together to put a stop to open grazing and replace it with ranching. The Tinubu administration is laying a strong foundation for Nigeria's future by creating more opportunities for our youth, who constitute more than 60% of the entire population of Nigeria. We have an unprecedented number of youth heading ministries, departments, and agencies.
Like its bold signature campaign messages, he said, the administration is creating a sustainable future for Nigeria and Nigerians.
On our discussion segment today, the title is The Road to Government House, Oshogbo, on politics and governance, and our guest is Didelu Falobi, APC governorship aspirant in Osun State. He spoke to us earlier. We are now in the business end of the political season with the conclusion of the Anambra State governorship election, 2 more off-season elections in the year 2026 as a prelude to the big one in 2027. And we're talking about 2 states in the southwest, Ekiti State and Osun State. One of the masquerades that has thrown his hat in the ring as far as the Osun State contest is concerned is joining us now in the studio, Chief Dide Olufalobi, an engineer by profession. He is, of course, a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers as well, and having dedicated himself to the profession of engineering, is also a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Safety Engineers as well as the Institute of Directors. Thank you very much, Chief Dide Olufalobi, for joining us on Political Update.
Thank you very much.
What informed your removing the helmet and throwing your hat in the ring as far as the Osun State contest is concerned?
Just a desire to, deploy all the training, the experience that one has garnered in the private sector over the past 8 years post-graduation into the public sector, help my state.
When we look at your profession, one will say you are one person that has vision rooted in practical solutions as an engineer. I remember, some of those courses then in engineering that I used to spy some of my colleagues looking at strength of materials. What are the strengths of the materials in Osun State to form the building blocks of progress which you envision for your state?
Thank you very much. Well, you mentioned something about the engineering industry, which is finding solutions to challenges. And you deploy solutions by using the materials available. I think the greatest resource in Osun State is the human resource. In Osun State, almost everybody is well educated. Over the years, they are accepted education. We are known for farming. We are known for commerce and industry. So you have quite a pool of very, very well, educated, highly experienced people in Osun State. So that's the best resource you can have. And the second material that is there is also the amount of arable land that we have. In Osun State, if you drop a grain of corn or maize on the floor, it will grow. So you have good land, good arable land. You have network of rivers, the Osun River, all sorts of rivers crisscrossing the entire land space, which means with proper management, you can actually grow your crops all the year round. There are states that don't have that advantage. We have it in Osun State. Then look at the amount of mineral resources available in Osun State. You have gold, you have bauxite, you have limestone, all sorts of things. A few days ago, I was a part of Ishaland, in Mesili. Everything there was rock. So there's quite a lot of resources in Osun State, and these are the building blocks that a typical engineer would like to deploy to, help the state to achieve its maximum potential.
But there's an aspect of political engineering, if I must say, that has been a little bit baffling in the past. We have seen some fractious development in your politics in that state that had to even, cause the invitation of law enforcement agents in some cases. Have those things now simmered down a little bit to ensure that the people know exactly who their politicians are, as against the bickering we've seen across board, especially within your party, the APC, run off to the last off-season elections, and even after that, saw all kinds of divides, making a raucous noise. So don't even know whose voice to listen to in that cacophony.
Thank you very much. Yes, there were some challenges in the run-up to the last cycle of elections in Osun State. But right now, we'll be able to identify those who are genuinely committed to the party. And as we speak, the party is one. It's united, committed to ensuring that we do what we know how to do best, which is deliver a state of the kind of services and the kind of returns on the investment of our forefathers in creating that state. Now, whatever you're hearing in recent times are the natural, what I will call challenges and dynamics that come with the election cycle. There is no problem. It's a rumbling among brothers, and we have a structure in the party, and especially in Osun State, we have elders who are there monitoring everything that is happening, and they are taking steps to ensure that a robust contest does not derail the party. So I can assure you that, yes, there are a few things you'll be hearing, and don't forget that some of these things are inflated beyond what they really are. But it's just a normal contest, and because we are quite a number of members of the party are desirous of giving the party good service, giving the state good service, and that's why you see the contest. All
right, but while your party is the ruling party at the center, it is in opposition in the state, and several, big names have more or less not been a part of the party. We're talking about, next governor who was quite a big stature in the APC in the state. We have the incumbent governor who is of the PDP. What chance does the APC have with such strong, voices against it in the state?
Well, if you meant by the ex-governor Rauf Aregbesola, I can assure you the APC in Osun has moved beyond him. We moved on. We moved beyond him and his team, and we believe that no individual is bigger than the party. So we are focused. We have a robust, dynamic team on ground now. Members of the party are committed. They are loyal 100%. Because what happened in the past was a case of so-called members of the party who are working for the opposition. So in the party today, we have people who are genuinely committed to the party. In terms of opposition, in terms of the fact that we are in opposition at the state level, I can assure you, the people of Osun State want to change. And because what you are seeing today in terms of how things are decaying calls for change. Quite a lot of crimes are being committed. Employment is not being created. Educational institutions are not at their maximum performance. A lot of schools don't have adequate teachers. And where they have teachers, even the infrastructure is not being helped. The health system is not working as well as it should. So basically, the kind of across-the-board progress we want to see is not being seen. Even in the areas of infrastructure, we are not satisfied with what is going on. So quite a lot of people, citizens of the state, actually are yearning for change. And I'm sure that they also want to be part of the center in terms of the opportunities that has been created by the center, increase the allocation to the states, which are not being deployed as they should be. So they also want to be part of it and to get the maximum benefit of being part of the center. I think Osun State is ready to change the government.
All right, but if that is an assertion from you, so some the people on the other side will say, they are also being maybe given an opportunity as well. But in terms of your party, you are likely to go into primaries next month. How cohesive is the entire structure? We've not had so much of the messaging. And do we have others who have thrown their hats in the ring? If yes, will there be a formidable front at the end? Because we've seen situations where primaries at the end of the day cause friction and division within the party.
Okay, I can assure you, given all what is available or what is on ground now, there are 13 of us who have shown interest in the contest. And I can assure you that if there's one thing I can assure you, it is the fact that whoever wins amongst us, the rest are going to work amicably with him. That is taken and that is already agreed upon. Like I said, we have the Council of Elders in APC in Osun who are quietly and effectively directing the state of things. They are watching and they are monitoring and they are engaging the aspirants. There have been 3 or 4 meetings now where the issues of unity, issues of cohesiveness, issues of agreeing to work together after the primaries have been settled. And I think we are all committed to that. So yes, the contest will be robust, and it's robust because we are not a party that is frivolous. But at the end of the day, I believe that whoever wins the contest will be the best among the lot, and all of us, whoever do not win, we have already agreed that we will also work with whoever wins. So basically, I don't see any division thereafter.
All right, let's look at the entry of different administrations across the country, especially those vying for number one positions in their state. There is the question of insecurity and especially targeting, vulnerable schools and all that. In terms of, engaging the security architecture in your state, if you were perhaps given the opportunity to mount the saddle, what would be your early interventions to ensure that we have a society on an even keel?
Well, let me say something that the status quo in Osun State, for example, we have the Amotekun, and I think the first thing is to reorganize the Amotekun and ensure it is not a tool for the governor to oppress members or citizens of the state. It does not lose its credibility, which is one of the challenges in the state today. The moment that is done, I think we have to first and foremost reorganize them. Secondly, there is what we call community policing and community intelligence gathering. This is one of the things that are missing in the security architecture, and it's one of the things that I believe that if I have the opportunity to rule the state, I will put that back in place. Traditionally, we know ourselves in our communities, and we have structures and systems that ensure that when a stranger comes in, is checked, and we are able to determine where he stays or he or she stays and what he does. And if there is a problem, we will be able to identify it at the incipient stage. So this is part of the things that, one of the things that my agenda is called the reinforcement of the nation, of the state, ensuring that there is peace and unity. The traditional rulers are not being maximally utilized, and I believe they have a role to play to ensure that the community has a way of gathering intelligence and feeding that intelligence into the relevant agencies that are responsible for it. This is one of the things that we will emphasize. And then in the relationship among different nationalities and ethnic tribes, again, we need to use the traditional institutions more. We need to bring them on board, because if you look at a typical town in Yoruba land, you have at different levels people responsible for quarters, for streets, and do know who is who. This is kind of intelligence gathering that we have not been using maximally. But more importantly, the biggest tool against insecurity is employment. We must create employment. We must take the youth off the streets and put them in gainful employment. And this is one of the core programs that I have, and which is also part of what the party, which the party also is pushing. And that program is called industrialization, ensuring that we create industries that we use whatever is available within the state first. So if, for example, Osun State is known to be an agrarian community, we look for agro-led industries that will ensure the farmers can go to farm fully well. There is enough taker for whatever they produce at maximum at good rates.
A viable value chain is established.
Yes, the entire value chain is maximally deployed to ensure that we take all these youths off the streets. If you take them off the streets, you would have solved 90% of the problem. And those who refuse to go off the street, you also have to find a way of engaging them and reorientating them, because we've lost quite a lot of a generation of youths to what I would call subtle crime. Subtle in that it's not something, it's not like armed robbery that you can see every day. But when you are doing what they call Yahoo rituals, you are not seeing it physically, but it's a big challenge. And so you need to reorientate them and bring them back, and whatever needs to be done. I can't disclose all that because security issues are not what we actually discuss openly. But we will do. We have a plan and agenda to look at that.
What is the greatest challenge of your party in your state for you to be able to return to the government house there?
I think the biggest challenge is to ensure that we educate our citizens on how well the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing. One of the challenges in Nigeria today is that people are not aware of the amount of work and the results that are already on and that will come out of what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been doing for the past 2.5, 3 years. It's a lot of work. The economy is being repositioned. A lot of building blocks are being repositioned. Foundations that have been ruptured are being reconstructed. And we need to let our people know, educate them on the short, long, medium and long-term part of this revolution by President Tinubu. That's one. And that education is one of the things. And I'm happy during this period of bidding for the ticket of the APC, we, the aspirants, have done a lot of work to educate the people on that. And I think that's the biggest challenge.
All right, Chief Jideolu, final words on it. You have found yourself in a place, in a terrain you cannot calculate the strength and height. People, politics is precarious. Have you found it enjoyable, or you are still cautious?
Well, for some, that's a very good question, because even though I've been in the party for a few number of years, this is the first time I'm throwing my hat in the ring, and it's been a very interesting experience. And my message on this, to those who are out there who are scared, who are wondering whether they should go in, is come and be part of it. Come and participate actively. The role of governors and government in the development of the country and sustenance of enterprise is so huge that if you don't take part in it, then you will not have any basis for saying that they are not doing it right. We need to increase the critical mass of people, private sector people that are coming into the public sector.
And the quality as well.
Yeah, the critical mass of the private sector people, good people who are coming in, to join the good people in there and ensure that we deliver a country and a state that we will all be proud of.
All right, we've had Chief Jideolu Falubi, APC governorship aspirant for Osun State, an engineer, and he's been, sharing with us his thoughts on building Osun State. So many bridges to cross. They're going for the primaries, and of course, we'll give you all that on the network of the Nigerian Television Authority as we go to the off-season elections next year. That has been Political Update. This interview segment program continues shortly. A support group on the platform of the Governing All Progressives Congress tagged Tinubu Squad has formally inaugurated the sole mandate to mobilize grassroots support and ensure orderliness in all processes get towards successful outing in the 2027 presidential election. The group is also to rally key political stalwarts in spreading the message of the renewed hope agenda.
It's a work that will be carried out nationally for the re-election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And we believe that all of you are capable hands. You have been chosen because of your pedigree, your political capacity to deliver. And we believe that success will be for all of us, inshallah.
We are to work for Asiwaju in the area of insecurity. We want to consider the support group as our family, and their life is more important to us, and we don't want anything to happen to you people during the campaign or wherever we want to go.
And in the course of the week, the National Working Committee of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, has ratified the decision of the Kogi State Executive Committee of the party to expel Honorable Leke Abejide, a sitting House of Representatives member, from the party for various acts of indiscipline. The ADC National Working Committee, in a statement issued by its National Publicity Secretary Bolaji Abdullahi, announced the decision at the end of its meeting held at the party's national headquarters in Abuja on Thursday. The party reaffirmed that it would not tolerate any acts of indiscipline from its members as it seeks to build a party governed by discipline, character, and integrity. Furthermore, the party also directed the state leadership of the party to ensure that all vacant positions in the ward, local government, and state executives of the party are filled in accordance with the approved transition guidelines that were earlier issued ahead of the congresses that would soon be announced, according to the publicity secretary. We would also try to reach out to Honorable Leke Abejide to say his side of the story, having been one of the politicians flying the flag of the party at the National Assembly. We will try in the course of next week to bring him and, of course, get the reaction of these parties to this sanction, this expulsion. That has been Political Update for today. We'll be back again with another fresh package on Tuesday. Between now and then, play your politics for the greater good and keep it locked on Africa's largest and finest, the Nigerian Television Authority, for news, reviews, previews, and interviews. Bye-bye now.